All right, PHX98. Welcome to my home. So I've never done an interview here. I've interviewed people at shows. I've interviewed people at Icon Radio. But being that, couple things. One, you're moving here soon. Two, I feel like I have a very unique relationship with you in the sense, stuff we worked on together, and I just thought it would be interesting to kind of do an interview at my house. But yeah, thanks for making the time for it.
And thanks for inviting me, dude.
So as I mentioned, one of the reasons I wanted to interview you this month is because you're moving, right?
Yeah.
And so you did tell me a little bit, why you decided to move, but go ahead and tell me why Austin and why now?
Austin specifically because there's just more of an opportunity out there.
Okay.
There's more, you have the comedy scene. My friend Troy, he's out there right now and he's been getting a lot of shows on different bars by Joe Rogan's Mothership. So he hasn't gone on Kill Tony yet, but a lot of these bars and people in the audience have been telling him when you go on there, you're gonna do really good.
Yeah.
So having him out there kind of scope the place, and he's been telling me there's a lot more, it's nonstop out in Austin. There's mics every day. So you're never gonna be oh, I can't hit an open mic today. It's no, there's something going on every day. And so he's just been keeping me in the loop, telling me that it's a lot more opportunity out there in comparison to Phoenix. And the main goal is to try to get to New York. That's the hub of just entertainment around the world. But yeah, Austin, more opportunity. You have Joe Rogan, you have that whole crew, and you have Danny Brown and the whole, I forgot what the hell his production team is called. YMF or something like that.
Okay.
Tom Segura, I think is his name.
Oh, Tom. Yeah. So yeah.
Yeah. His whole crew. Danny Brown's a part of that crew.
The rapper
Danny Brown. Yeah.
Oh, okay.
He lives in Texas, in Austin.
Okay. Tom Segura he's kind of a hip hop fan actually.
Oh, yes?
Yeah, so he's in a Sarface. So I think there might be the Sarface comic right there, but he's in a Sarface video actually. So yeah, that's interesting.
That makes sense then. Why Danny Brown, he has Danny Brown on his crew. So, your moving to Austin is related to one of your friends who's a comedian. Yeah.
But just to kind of step back a little bit. So I know you have a personal interest in stand-up comedy and you sort of follow or have followed the local comedy scene. Mm-hmm. For me, I connect to comedy more like observational comedy. It's almost like a superpower to me when you could take something that's either monotonous or even negative and kind of find the humor, in it. But for you, how do you connect to comedy, and does it show up sort of in your art at all, in your music?
In my music,
Not say
really.
You have comedic music, you know what I mean? But the way you might think about things, I guess.
I guess the comedy I like it's just things that I relate to. Okay. So I guess you can kind of say, in my music, just things that I can relate to, relationship stuff or, where I grew up or family stuff or situations you've been in with your family or, I don't know. Just anything where I hear someone say something where I'm oh yeah, I relate to that. And it's funny how you turn that into a joke. But Troy does that a lot. Troy Burkhardt. It's my homie out in Austin. My frog. We say frog, we don't say dog.
Okay.
We say frog. But yeah, man. His style I can relate to a lot of shit he's saying. There's a lot of stuff about relationship stuff that he went through. But it's funny. You gotta check him out. Troy Burkhardt. I'll send you his stuff.
Definitely. Before we got started, we were talking a little bit about the first time we met. Mm-hmm. And it was at this open mic in Old Town Scottsdale.
Yeah.
And that was kind of when I was first getting started as far as the Phoenix hip hop platform. I think it was early 2024. And you were the first person that actually So I don't know. Do you remember the first thing you said to me?
I said, "Are you Phoenix hip hop?"
No, you go, "Oh, it's crazy you're here."
Oh, I said that?
Yeah, right. And so for me, I was like, "Wow, someone thinks it's crazy I'm here." Like that's weird to me. You know what I mean? Because I don't know. I'm just like a nerd, you know, posting stuff on Instagram. So I was like, okay, that's interesting. But yeah, I remember seeing you perform at that open mic, and you know, ever since I've been sort of following you. So that's kind of like the the origin story as far as like keeping up with you. But how did you back then? Like, were you doing a lot of open mics? Like, had you been doing a lot of open mics prior to that?
Yeah. I was doing a lot of open mics. During that time, there was like this weird like segment of like there was really no open mic stuff going on.
Okay.
So I had to kind of find stuff. I found that the Blatmosphere one. Shout them out too, and Jay Gallant and
Yeah, Jay
DK.
Gallant is on your album. Right?
Yeah.
Yeah.
I remember when we recorded that. He told me that he found out his or DK was his girl was pregnant. And right after he was done recording, he's like, dude, I know I'm gonna be a dad. I'm like, that's crazy, man. But yeah, just trying to find open mics and stuff. I used to do a bunch of them. This spot called El Charles that ended up shutting down. And then just trying to just find stuff. I found Dustin Hadlock. I don't know if you ever met Dustin Hadlock, but he set up a lot of shows and does open mics. So he keeps it alive as far as music and comedy. He does both, so he keeps it going. But yeah, to answer your question, yeah, I did a lot of open mics.
Is that because I guess, and the reason I'm asking you that, you know, I think you're pretty amazing performer, and I've seen you progress over time. Mm-hmm. A lot of people mention it to me as well. Is that how you sort of worked on your stage presence, and like, I guess, how long did it take to get to the point where you felt more confident?
I mean, I'm still working on it now. I did use open mics as like a learning experience of like, okay, let me try this next time. Let me move my hands more this time. Let me pace more this time. Let me say it differently this time. Let me not sound so like monotone. Let me try to like switch my voice a little bit. So yeah, open mics help me evolve and continue to like improve and make tweaks to my performances. And just doing it in like my room, like going over lyrics in my room, and then like kind of like pacing in my room and imagining that I'm performing like on a stage kind of deal. That helps me keep it like in routine when I'm not doing open mics or I don't have a show for a while. I'll do that. Just, I mean, it sounds dumb, but yeah, I pretend I'm performing in my room sometimes.
Yeah. I mean, for me, I mean, even as someone that is not an artist, like, to me, it's like, it's inspiring to me because I am more of a like, soft, like, I'm in a crowd, I'm like the quietest one, I'm more soft-spoken. And when I talk to you, you're also pretty soft-spoken, but it's almost like watching you, transform, you know what I mean? And it's like, in a sense, it's inspiring, right? Because even not being an artist, I sometimes have to present on stage for work, at conferences and stuff like that. And I'm always trying to get in the right mind state. So watching artists like yourself is kind of an inspiration for me. And I've kind of noticed over time, like you almost have this sort of like I don't know if signature approach is the right way, but like you will be in the background, right? When the instrumental starts, and then you're almost like standing in the crowd, and then you just kind of, you're like, okay, like, you know what I'm talking about?
Like make my way to the stage, like, with the music.
Have you always done that, or was that something that you like?
That's something that I like at first, no. That's something that as I started making more songs, like really the Everything Is Fine project, I have songs on there that I can like do that with, where I can walk out with the instrumental. Like it's kind of like a walkout kind of feel to it. But I like doing that because it makes me feel like starting off, like I'm with everyone, like in the crowd, I'm with everyone. And then I step out the crowd to like get on stage. It just makes it feel more like, I guess, personal. Like I want to bring you there. Like I was just standing right next to you and now I'm on stage and you're like, oh, he was just right here. Like you feel like you're a part of the performance now because I started off with everyone in the same spot and then I walked my way up there, or, you know, ran up there, or however I went up there. I like doing that because it feels more like personal with the performance, rather than just being like, you know, all right guys, I'm PHX98, yo DJ play that shit.
Yeah.
You know, like it seems more
on RG.
Yeah, all that shit. Like, yeah.
Do you? I mean, I don't know if choreograph is the right word, but you know, at least for one of your songs, I think it's All I See Is Glass People. Like you kind of bend down. There's like a certain part of the song, and you repeat that sort of. Do you have any? Is that unique, or do you do that for other songs? And maybe I just didn't notice where you're like, okay, at this part of the song, I'm gonna move this way, or.
I do that. Like certain songs, I do certain things at specific parts of the song. Okay. For that one, yeah, I do, because the beat switches, and so like right before that beat switch, you know, the drums are going and I'm rapping and I'm like moving around, and then to kind of bring you there, because it switches into like a more like sinister kind of feel, like it gets a little creepy once the beat switches. So I bring myself down to kind of bring down the mood real quick, and then like I'm following the frequency, like I'm going down with it, and then I slowly rise back up when you see that, like when I start repeating it over and over and over, then I say where it be it get crazy, and then I start rapping. Yeah, it's to kind of like settle it down, bring everyone down, because the beat just slowed down, so I'm slowing down with it, and then once it comes back into the next drop, I want you guys to feel this, what I'm putting out now, and it's that's why I scream it, like the word crazy, I yell it out at the top of my lungs, and then I start rapping to kind of like bring you into this like new energy I'm producing now with this beat switch. Yeah, I think I might have mentioned this to you before. So when I was a kid, one of my favorite bands was Korn. I think Korn's first album, I don't know what to call it, but there's these parts of the song where he'll just repeat, you know, the same lyrics, and it starts out like softer. There's I can't remember one song he's like fuck you, I'm more better than you, and he like keeps getting louder and louder, and then he starts screaming, you know what I mean? And the instrumentals changes with it. And so sometimes when I see you perform, like in my mind I'm like, this will be very good for like a rock crowd almost, you know what I mean? Because like it reminds me of that style. But I do like Korn. Yeah. Going back to like, how did you sort of decide you're gonna do those things at that part of the song? Like, have you studied or read anything, or did you just kind of figure it out naturally? Because there's a lot of people that make great music, but they're still figuring out sort of their stage presence, you know, what to do with their hands or whatever on stage. Like, so what did that look like for you to kind of figure that out? When I'm making the song, I keep that in mind. Like, I'm gonna perform this song, and how am I gonna look like when I perform it? Like, what parts are gonna feel more like how you said, like he repeats the same words, and then it gradually gets louder. Yeah. Like, what am I gonna do to do that? And I'm like, oh, well, I'll kneel when it's starting. As it gradually gets louder, I'll stand up gradually to like express that, like, okay, now it's getting louder, and kind of take you there. But like there obviously there was a first time you had that thought. Like, was it you kind of studied other people performing? Or did you just kind of like naturally think of it, or you just don't remember? I just kind of did it. Yeah. Okay. I didn't really think of it too much like that. But I am influenced by a lot of rock music, so maybe that's just something that just like subconsciously I did. I just kind of started doing it.
Okay.
As I felt what I felt with the song, I just kind of just went with it naturally.
When you're performing, are you sort of just like in like a flow state, or like focus on what you're doing, or do you actually observe crowd response and actually take it in as you're performing?
I am in a flow state. I mean, I listen to my music every day. All the stuff that's released, the stuff that's unreleased, like I listen to it every day. So sometimes like I fall asleep listening to it, but it's just like a flow. Like I know my lyrics, and when I need to remember like a song, I'll just listen to it all day for like a whole day, and then it comes back. Because when you write it, you kind of memorize most of it as you're writing, because you keep coming back to that first line and then repeating it as you're going with the beat, and you keep writing and you're adding and you're switching, but you're repeating it over and over and over as you're writing. So you remember most of it. Mainly the beginning, you remember most of the beginning of your songs. I'm not sure if this is the same for all artists, but for me, I noticed that like I remember the beginning part, because that's the part I keep coming back to as I'm writing, because I like to say the entire verse, and then the part where I'm like not finished, to pick up from there.
Okay. As far as like memorizing, like I've never, and you could tell me if it's happened, I just wasn't there, didn't notice it, but like I have seen a lot of artists, like rappers, like forget their lyrics, you know? Mm-hmm. I've never seen you like forget your lyrics, and like has that ever happened to you?
I have, but I do it so you guys don't notice.
Okay.
Like I'll repeat the same line twice, or I'll do something to where like even if it's just like a little freestyle fill-in, I'll do that so that it's not obvious.
Okay.
But for the most part, like I remember all my lyrics, but there are those times where, and it's when you're thinking about your lyrics too much is when you forget what the next line is, because you're thinking about what are the other lines.
Yeah.
That's when you get caught up in that. So by staying in a flow state, I just don't think about that. I just say the lyrics, feel out the crowd. I like to look at people's foreheads when I'm like I'll look at, it looks like I'm looking at you in the eyes, but I'm really looking at your forehead, to kind of just like make it look like I'm giving eye contact. But that works for me. Yeah.
Eye contact. So an artist that like I think makes the best eye contact when she performs is Indie Clouds. I don't know if you've ever seen her perform.
Yeah.
But she does that thing. It's almost like creating a personal connection, you know, during the performance. So I feel like a lot of artists don't really think about like that eye contact.
Yeah. A lot of people don't think about that. But yeah, I try to like make my way and just look at everyone and see who's in the crowd, you know, get an idea of what the crowd's looking like and what they're feeling. And it's just like mental notes of like, all right, this song, I noticed these people like this song, you know, this crowd doesn't really like this song. And just kind of like keeping that in mind as I'm performing, to set up my next set, how I should arrange my my set list on different shows and stuff, and just like trial and error. But yeah, I do know what you're talking about with Indy. I've seen her perform a couple times, and she does do that where she'll like make it very personal by like looking at you.
Yeah. So we talk about lyrics as far as memorizing for a performance, but like when it comes to just like your writing process, I've heard like artists they'll like first they'll write to an instrumental, or I've seen artists they'll come to a studio session and they already have like a notepad and they're just like they can hear a beat and sort of tailor to the beat. But what is your typical process?
My process of writing is first figuring out the flow pattern I'm gonna use. When I hear the beat, I just kind of mumble just random words, but I'm trying to find a flow pattern. And sometimes I'll find multiple, and then I'll like take the note and then I'll start writing the words on my phone, or if I have like pen and paper, whatever. I use anything. Like I don't just write a pen and paper. I just don't write on phone, but whatever I have, my hooks, a lot of my hooks are I write them in my head. Like I freestyle a lot of my hooks.
Yeah, I can see that, because I mean I've seen you in studio sessions where you kind of just like come up with a hook.
Yeah, and it's just in my head, and I'm like I write it in my head, because hooks aren't supposed to be complicated. They're supposed to be just.
You did the most simple one at the camp studio. What was it? Don't trip.
Don't trip. Just say the 2 words over and over.
It was amazing. I was like, because it was so simple, but it sounded so hard. It was like, don't trip.
Yeah.
That was good.
And even the under it, the ad libs I was doing, that was pretty dope. But yeah, it was all I didn't write anything. I just kind of did it in my head.
Do you ever though? Like, are you ever? I mean, even if you're in a situation where you're not listening to instrumental, but like you just have an idea, like, do you ever just write something and you're like, I'll use this later?
I have on my phone. I have notes.
Okay.
Like different ideas for like titles of songs or just different like rhyme schemes or like words.
Yeah.
If I hear a new word, I'll write it down, and I'll like write the definition of the word, and I'll be like, when I'm on a block, I'm gonna come to this page of my notes, and I see all these different things I wrote down, whether it's like a verse, half a verse, or just sections of rhyme schemes or words or names of like song ideas. Like I came up with I was driving off the freeway and I saw Castles and Coasters, and the sign said like it said party in something. But I thought at first glance I thought it said party in the pain, and so I'm like, that's a good idea. So I just kept saying it, and then when I got to a stoplight, I like wrote it down real quick. Like party in the pain sounds fucking cool for some reason. Partying in the pain, kind of like you're in pain, but you're like partying to like forget about the pain.
Yeah.
Lake City Quiet Pills was one that I found that sounded pretty cool. Yeah, like just, I mean, I watch a lot of YouTube and like conspiracy shit too, so I get a lot of ideas from a lot of shit.
Yeah. I mean, it's some of the 2 most prominent or common themes I hear in your lyrics are references, one to your faith, right? Like Christianity and God, but aliens also.
Yeah.
And it's interesting because like I've been on this like, so when I first met you like a couple years, like 2.5 years ago, I wasn't really like, I don't know, I was pretty agnostic or indifferent about aliens. Like it's just not a topic I followed, you know what I mean? But like since then, like I've kind of gone down some rabbit holes and stuff. And there's a documentary called The Age of Disclosure that came out recently, which is pretty crazy. But I guess like for you, like what are your thoughts on aliens and like how does it make its way into your lyrics so often?
This is how I feel. I mean, not everyone feels. To me, I believe they're real.
Yeah.
When you start, studying the Bible and you start kind of seeing like aliens don't sound too fake, like there's in Ezekiel, they talk about that, kind of describing spaceships. Moses was trying to save people from these aliens, these Egyptian gods. He was taking them out of Egypt and having them, because they were all worshiping these false gods who are really fallen angels, and the fallen angels are aliens. That's how I view it when I read the scripture. It makes sense to me. I'm like, that doesn't sound too unrealistic when you put it that way. Like aliens are fallen angels who fell from heaven, and the devil's not the only one who fell from heaven. There's a lot that followed him, so there's a lot of things that aren't human. On top of that, I have encountered something that wasn't a human in a sleep paralysis. So a part of me thinks, was it real? Was it fake? Because you're in a sleep paralysis.
Yeah.
You're aware of what's going on around you, but you feel like you can't move. And it's like you hear stuff, you see stuff. And I saw like these 3, like, it was like static, kind of like, I can't really explain, like staticky kind of look.
Yeah.
But they look kind of like gray, but like staticky. But it just kind of like flashed.
I think you have a song where you reference something like about static or TV, static in the TV or something like that.
Yeah.
Yeah.
We can go into that part too.
Real quick though, because I was gonna mention, have you ever seen those old paintings? They're like religious paintings where they actually have like what looks like a UFO in them.
I haven't, no.
Okay, I'll text you some. Yeah.
That sounds pretty accurate though.
And then what you're saying about the sleep thing is very interesting to me, right? So like, because I know people that like, they're people I know for a long time, and there's one guy, he used to mess around with like astral projection or something, and he would tell me these stories. I'm like, okay, yeah, all right. I look at him kind of like, you all right?
Yeah.
You know what I mean? But but this was all like in my early 20s maybe. I read, like I was going down this rabbit hole one time about declassified CIA documents. So they're actually hosted on the government website. So like they're, very authentic. And they spent maybe 30 years on remote viewing.
Stargate? Project Stargate?
I don't know if it's Stargate, but it might have been. Yeah. But it was basically like just like people that were remote viewing, and they would put themselves in this state, and they're like able to identify objects in a different country or whatnot.
To spy.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And so like my takeaway was like, the CIA is not going to be spending 30 years on something if there's nothing to it, right? Mm-hmm. And it said like now they say they abandoned it, who knows if they really did stop researching it, but they said like it wasn't repeatable, and that's why like they kind of just like, stopped researching it. But there has to be something there. There
is. I've done it once, and I've never been able to do it again. I wasn't able to like get out of the apartment, but I was able to get out of my body and see myself sleep. But I heard this woman talking to me, kind of saying like, don't look into the mirrors and don't think of anything bad. And as soon as she said that, I started thinking of bad stuff, and then I ended up falling, and I was falling and falling. It was like black, like nothing. Like I was falling, and it was like I was never gonna stop falling, and then I fell right into my body, and then I got up. It was the weirdest thing. Like I can't explain it other than just like that. Like
yeah,
it's weird. It felt more than a sleep process. It felt like a dream, but not at the same time. Because how do I see myself sleeping if I'm in a dream?
Yeah,
it's weird.
I mean, I practice Zen Buddhism, and I've never had this type of experience myself, but people that have been practicing a long time, they call it like an awakening experience, where like basically it's like non-duality and everything seems connected. Mm-hmm. And then people that do things like DMT, I've never done a strong psychedelic, or ayahuasca, they'll describe this, similar experiences. So I feel like there's something there, and maybe psychedelics are like a shortcut to it. Maybe, deep meditation is more like the non-shortcut way, what you're talking about. But like, there's such a common theme throughout these different sort of approaches that have sort of similar experiences.
Yeah. The mind's powerful, dude.
Yeah.
Like, I do believe that like certain psychedelical drugs do take you there faster. The meditation is like a slower process of doing it.
Yeah.
Keeping the mind calm and being present in the moment, not thinking about the past or the future, but just living in the moment and just being one with what's going on right now. That's key to I guess opening your consciousness, or if that's the right word.
Yeah.
But yeah, I've never done DMT or any of that.
Yeah, no, like it's on my bucket list to do some sort of psychedelic, before I die or whatever. And mostly because they say those things help you become comfortable with your impermanence, Mm-hmm. So that's something I'm not yet comfortable with. But going back to sort of like your faith in your lyrics, do you ever find, do you ever find like that's a challenge to be very open with your faith? Because like on your IG, I don't even know what it is, but you have these like images that kind of make up I don't know if it's like a scripture, or if it's just like a cross or something.
Oh yeah.
But I grew up, and I used to go to church a lot, and I used to listen to like Christian rap music even. And there's all these different variations of it. There's like very clean, lyrics. There's like very like kind of overt lyrics where they only rap about Jesus, Mm-hmm. And sometimes it could be like someone will see something like, oh, that's like a Christian rapper, and that's not for me.
Put in that category.
Yeah. You, like, your style of music doesn't make me think, when I listen, I'm like, oh, I don't think like this is Christian rap per se, but Just like what has been your experience with like being very open with your faith and also being an artist?
I do get judged, unfortunately, because I do cuss in my lyrics, but I don't want to be put in that box where it's like, all right, he's a Christian rapper, we'll put him in this box. Only the Christians are gonna listen to the Christian rapper.
Right.
The people who need to like really hear this stuff, not all of them are Christian. You know, all the people that I'm trying to reach an audience where explain my story of life, and maybe it'll help someone. Like what I've been through probably help someone who's going through something similar. And I don't want to be put in this box of like only the Christians are gonna listen to me. Like I want anyone to listen to me. Like it doesn't matter what religion you are, like what race you are, what gender you are, like what you identify as. Like I want everyone to listen to my story because it might help someone.
Yeah.
So that's why I make the music I make, because that's me. Like that's how I feel when I'm writing. That's what I've been through. This is my life. Like I'm not rapping or writing about stuff that I've never been through or things that I'm not doing, you know? Like I don't rap about, you know, going out and fucking killing people and robbing people, and because I don't do that shit, man.
Yeah.
Like I know people that do that shit, but I don't do that shit. So I'm not gonna rap about that.
And I feel like, I mean, everyone has a different idea of what Christianity really is, but like, to me, like the most like genuine forms are people like, they want to preach to people that aren't Christians just as much, right?
Yeah.
To spread that message and stuff like that.
Yeah.
And then like, speaking of, you know, other artists, rappers in the Phoenix area that identify as Christians and rap, there's one that you sort of, you've had some subliminal and non-subliminal.
I still haven't sent you the songs.
Yeah, you haven't. But it's interesting because like, I didn't know you had dissed him until you told me about the Phoenix Cypherverse, you know? But then like over time, it might be Glass People, this song, but you're like that friendly rapper.
Stole from me.
That's a reference to him, right?
That was a reference.
So what was like the origin of all that?
We were listening to For the Kids album. You know how I spell it, the number 4, D-U-H, and then kids with the Z? Well, when I was doing open mics, I ran across him. He hosted an open mic for a little time. And I had a hoodie on, and it had the album with the album name on the bottom of the picture on the back. So I would wear that hoodie around to just like self-promo that album. And apparently like it caught on to him, because he tried to drop a single and title it the same exact way. Like how I spelled it, he tried to title it the same exact way. And some people realized that and reached out to me and like, yo, he stole this from you. Like he's spelling it the same way you spelled your album. I'm like, what's that about? Not even like him reaching out to me and kind of being like, yo, I was inspired by that. That whole album was just like me in pain, bro. So I took that pretty personal, because like, I know for a fact you didn't listen to the album. I know for a fact you didn't listen to the album at all. But you saw the title, and so you're gonna steal the title without realizing like how much I put into this. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
And I didn't like that. It was. He ended up deleting the song after I commented, saying like, oh, I guess I'm making waves that they're writing now, and he deleted that whole song. Like you can't find it anymore.
When I saw you at First Friday last, it was interesting because like he was right on the corner of like Roosevelt, because like he's like selling some kind of healthy soda or whatever, and they're doing that. But then walked right by him to go to Blood's Glass Joint to see you perform. Have you ever talked to him at all, or?
No, he tried to reach out to me, but I don't respect that, like what he did. I don't respect it. When I did run into him in person, one time at a Frequency 450 event, we ran into each other, and then Dub introduced us, but I already knew who he was, but he didn't know who I was. And that felt disrespectful to me. And instead of like, you know, getting angry and upset at that moment, I just kind of was like, all right, I know what it is now. Like, how are you gonna bite from someone and then act like you don't know them? You know what I mean? Like, come on, dude. I don't respect that. So, I mean, he tried to reach out to me, but I didn't respond. Cause I don't really care for him, you know?
Yeah.
And it's just what it is. Like,
yeah, not everyone has to be friends, right?
yeah, not everyone has to be friends.
That's something I've learned, like, you know, a lot of the projects I do for Phoenix Hip Hop is like to bring people together, you know what I mean? And sometimes I feel like kind of like the Mr. Rogers of the community, just trying, but I've had to learn kind of like the awkward way, like not everyone is gonna like each other, right? And you know, not everyone's gonna be friends and all that stuff. I also want to ask you about your lyrics, because you do have a lot of references to this, and we've had personal conversations, but you have schizophrenia, is that correct?
Yes, that's what they call it. Yes.
Okay, is that still the term for it, or I'm not like up to date on the latest?
Technically, yes, I'm diagnosed.
Okay, yeah. But do they still refer to it as that?
Yeah.
Okay. How does that or not influence you as an artist?
It's a lot of my lyrics. It's real, man. Those people talking to themselves on the freeway and stuff, that stuff's real. It's not fun. And I never smoked crack, I never done coke, or the most I've ever done was drink alcohol and smoke weed, and those are both legal. And it happened to me.
When did you, I know like there's a difference between when you're diagnosed versus like when you can remember feeling a certain way, but like when did you, for lack of a better term, feel different?
When they talk through the TV.
Oh, okay. But I mean, like what age maybe?
I was 19. Okay. 19, 20. Around, I was going on to be 20 around that time, like 19, 20-ish. Yeah, those party days, and I didn't do that. I didn't go through that party thing in my late teens, early 20s. I was going through some pretty fucked up stuff. When they approach you, like I got too deep into like conspiracies. I'm gonna just say it. The devil is real. He's real. And they don't want you to know that. And
when you say they,
the demons,
okay.
All the other demons.
Okay.
Demons, you know, government officials, celebrities, whoever's in cahoots with this cult that's being used to like put stuff on our phones. They're all in like this group, man. And they wanted me to join that group. That's how they started talking to me. They're like, selling your soul is a real thing. They wanted me to sell my soul and like sacrifice someone I love and all that shit. I was like, I can't do that. Like, I love my family to death. I can't do some shit like that. And they just keep fucking with me, bro. Like sleep paralysis. The TVs, when they started talking to the TVs is when I was like, I'm losing my fucking mind, bro. Like, but prayer helped. Like understanding who God is helped me more to get through those moments. I mean, it still happens. It's not as bad as when it first happened, because now I'm like 7 years into this, I'm like, it's nothing new. But yeah, man, like it's not, they are everywhere, dude. And yeah, man, they're trying to take the kids' minds, and from that, they're trying to like create this whole just one religion. Like they're trying to do some fucked up shit to us, bro. They're turning the kids into the other gender now. Like they're basically like destroying us, like, but at our will. They're influencing our own destruction, and we're falling for it every time. And like, yeah, bro, when I talk about this stuff to people, you know, Some people are like, oh, you're crazy. Some people understand. Some people just like find it interesting. And some people are just like, you're fucking weird. And it sucks, but this is my life. And I'm trying to spread information of what I've been through to try to help someone, you know?
Yeah. I mean, yeah, for me, I'm pretty like, I'm kind of just like open to ideas, you know what I mean? I don't necessarily like believe in certain things or not believe in certain things, but I will say the older I get, the more I'm like, wow, like that thing that I was very dismissive of seems like there's something, you know, to it. Whether it's like UFO stuff or even, you know, like the most popular, one of the common topics in media right now is like, Epstein files and all the craziness in that. But real quick though, just like before we kind of switch topics, like what is a misconception, I guess, about schizophrenia that you could like add clarity, or just your thoughts, like what's a common misconception? Because real quick, yeah, sorry, I'm like asking questions and interrupting, but for the last like 5-10 years, it's been very common to be open about mental health. And that's typically limited to anxiety and depression. Sometimes people, Kanye would maybe talk about bipolar disorder, right? But I feel like it's gotten more normalized to talk about. I've never heard anyone talk about schizophrenia though. So like, what is like a common misconception, I guess?
Common misconception is that like you're crazy. I guess like people who are schizophrenic are just crazy. There are crazy people, but you know, just because you have it doesn't mean you're crazy. Like when you read the Bible, a lot of the prophets in the Bible have schizophrenia. Like Moses was talking to a burning bush. Like that's schizophrenia, you know, an object that's not a human or is able to put out frequency or sound. And he's talking to, like having a conversation, talking to God. That's an example of schizophrenia. So this stuff has been around for a really long time. I believe it's a very spiritual thing. There's a realm outside the physical, like a spiritual realm. Some people can see it, can see ghosts, can see demons, can see angels. Some people can hear them. And I'm one of the ones that can hear them. You know, seeing them, it's mainly in the sleep paralysis is when I see those things. But, you know, some people will be like how we're talking right now, some people could see something right behind you. Like there's some people who have it that bad. For me, it's just audible. Okay. Yeah, probably my own experience, like where I grew up in Florida, there's a lady that was always at a 7-Eleven. And people make up, this is like the 90s, right? So there's kind of pre-internet where you could search shit up, but people always have these like stories, like she used to be very rich and like they had it was almost like myths about her, but she would just be like having like a very detailed conversation. And then someone told me that, you know, that's what that was. Yeah. It's a real thing.
As far as things you wrote, like what is one of your favorite things or personal things or something you're proud of that like lyrically that you wrote and why?
It's a hard question because I like everything I write.
Yeah, I mean, it doesn't have to be like the top, but just something, you know what I mean? An example of something.
An example of something. Let me think of something. There's so much, man. I'm gonna just say Met Gala, that whole song. That song, the hook is I Wanna Rock Right Now.
Yeah,
I'm talking about
a good hook.
Crack rock.
Oh, okay, so, I didn't know that.
Yeah, I'm talking about a crack rock, but I'm comparing it to, you know, the Met Gala where, you know, they go and then they dress in all those, you know, fancy outfits and everything. But when you go behind, only people who are invited can see what's inside. Anyone who's not inside, there's no recording, there's nothing. You don't see anything inside. You only see what's outside, what they're wearing, who's got invited and all that stuff. But once those doors close, no cameras. Like, what are they doing in there?
Gotcha, okay.
So I'm using the Met Gala song as a way of saying like, these people sell their souls to get to that point. That's no different from someone who's addicted to crack wanting to get crack. Like they'll do anything to get crack. These celebrities do anything to become famous, anything to be in a Met Gala.
Okay.
So they're no different from a fiend who's doing drugs versus a fiend who just wants to have this fame and attention and all this shit that the world can give you. So I'm comparing the two, and they're two very different things. Like when you look at it from just like what it is, you see a fiend and then you'll see like a celebrity. I'm gonna just say Lady Gaga. You'll see these two and you'll think they're two totally different people because she has success, but you don't know what she had to do to get there.
Yeah.
And this guy, you'll see he doesn't have success, and you see what he had to do to get here. They're not really different.
Yeah.
You know, they both are addicted to something.
Yeah.
So that was my whole purpose of the Met Gala song.
Okay. Yeah, no, you remind me of this interview with Mike Tyson and Freddie Gibbs. I have this clip posted to my Instagram, but Mike Tyson is like super philosophical. I don't know if you ever like listen to him.
I haven't.
A lot of people don't take him seriously because of his voice, but he says like, we all have the same needs or something like that. And Freddie Gibbs like, it's like basically it sounds like everyone's the same. And then Mike Tyson breaks it down as like, we're all just chasing a feeling, right? Some people take a shortcut through substances, but like we all just want to feel like, whether you call it a positive emotion or dopamine or whatever, like it's all the same. And that's kind of what, you said in your own words, where like a celebrity or, an addict, celebrity is still chasing a feeling, addict is still chasing a feeling. Yeah. So in that sense, we're all the same.
Yeah. That's a perfect way to say it too. Yeah. We're all the same. We're all chasing that feeling, that dopamine feeling. Yeah.
What is it you're, not that you see yourself as chasing something, but what is it you're striving for as an artist?
As an artist?
Yeah. So you've released 3 albums, right?
Yeah.
1 EP.
An EP.
A lot of singles.
Just some singles, yeah.
Like, what is your aim?
My aim?
Yeah.
Honestly, dude, my aim is to just make music and be at peace, bro. And be able to make music and help people, man. Like, I want this to be my job, man. Like, to do this, like, having like a regular 9-to-5 job, it does something to my brain, bro, where I can't do it. Like, I do it, I'm good at doing a regular job, but something like in my brain's like, I'm dying slowly, like every day. And it's like, I wanna just create music and like not worry about having to go to this job so I can eat. Like, that's what I do music for, to inspire people and have that be something where I can just do without stressing and losing time after this 9-to-5. So I can just do this and do this and do this. And it does bring me happiness when I make music, when I perform music. It brings me joy. And it's like I let a lot out. It's almost like I'm venting when I'm performing or when I'm creating. And it does let a lot out. So yeah, to answer your question, I do it so I can find peace eventually through it.
This may be a hard question to answer, but like, do you think the struggle is part of also what carried? So like me, like when I reached a certain point in my career, like I'm not that motivated like I was like in my 20s, like I'm like, I want like to make this amount of money and like have this kind of job title. And once I reach those things, I'm like, okay, like what is next? Like what else is there? Like this is not like what I thought it was. Like I don't really feel different or whatever. And I'm like less motivated. I wish I wasn't. That's just my reality. But as a like, do you see like, just like pretend like you wave a magic wand, you are artist as your main career, you have everything you want. What would you like, do you feel like it would be different as far as like finding inspiration and motivation?
I think there's a lot of stuff I'll be able to talk about at that point. There's a lot of stuff, because I write about my life. So from now to that time, all the experiences I've encountered will keep me motivated to keep writing. But I love it so much, I don't think I'll ever not make music. Even if I'm like you know, in my 40s, I'm still gonna make music. I don't have to release it.
That's like the old age is in your 40s?
Oh, I feel like
you talk crap now.
No, I'm just saying, like, you know, if I'm
Yeah, no, I
40s, 50s, I don't know how old
40 is really old. I got you. I feel you.
I'm just saying, like, just, I don't know. Even when I'm like, have grandkids,
Yeah.
I'll still make music, you know?
Yeah.
Or it's just something that I like doing, making beats, engineering, writing lyrics, recording, performing. I love all that. But there is a certain time when like you enter this game, this hip hop game, like for the mainstream shit. I guess we'll just use J. Cole as the example. Like there's a time frame of when you know when it's like, all right, I think it's time to hang it up now. You know, you've been doing this for over a decade, and it's like, all right, I think I'm about done releasing the music to the public, but you're always gonna create. You know?
Yeah.
Like I guarantee he's gonna create music until he dies, you know, so that's what I meant until 40. Using the J. Cole comparison.
No, like, I mean, as someone that literally, I mean, I have these books or whatever, but like I study hip hop and I'm like a hip hop nerd. I read the history about it. A lot of my favorite rappers, like, I like them that they were at their peak when they were like not known, you know, and they're like has something to prove.
Yeah.
And then like J. Cole's a good example. Like some of J. Cole's stuff just doesn't sound like he's like hungry. You know what I mean? And I kind of understand that too. And I feel like a lot of sort of like whether it's self-improvement or like being an artist, like it's almost like you need like a opposition or an enemy or something to like
inspiration.
That carries you. So to me, like it just, that concept is interesting to me as far as like when you don't have that, you know, like what is your source of, you know, what drives you type of thing. But you know, I think you answered it.
I mean, whenever I get there, I'll figure it out. I'll see how I feel. But as of right now, I'm still working to get there, man. To get to some kind of level of where I can tour.
Yeah.
And you know, eat, you know, from making music. But yeah.
So are you working on another album?
I'm working on 3 right now.
Okay.
Yeah, 3 totally different concepts. One of them is the title right now for it is called Remember to Pray.
Okay.
And that's gonna be about my life leading up to, you know, when my great grandma passed away to when I first started having the schizophrenic moments, leading up to that, kind of like all these things I went through. Mainly a lot of just relationship stuff I went through. A lot of just issues in relationships, and the whole album's about that. But at the end, I want to kind of bring it all back to, you know, how I found God. You know, I had to go from, I start the album off with death, and then I want to end the album off with life, you know, like a rebirth. That's one album. Another album, I don't really have a title for this one, but it's a breakup album. I fucking trying to figure it out, but it's gonna be a lot of alien space sounds. Like my idea is I fall in love with an alien and she's like beautiful, and then she fucking sends me back to Earth, and then I'm like, no, my fucking heart's broken. But pull aspects of actual experience I've had in relationships where I've actually been hurt, and kind of use that in that album. Then there's one more, and this one's gonna be probably like my best album, about this dystopian society where I figure out is being controlled by this like thing that's not human, but it's controlling all the humans to think a certain way, to act a certain way, and wear this mask. And so I'm coming up with this idea for an actual mask to wear. Okay. To kind of make it seem like you're smiling. The mask is gonna be smiling, but on your forehead, it's gonna have your biggest fear. So I'm coming up with like ideas for how the mask will look. That one should be interesting. It'd be very interesting. I'm gonna be wearing a mask during that release of that album. So we'll see when that comes out.
I mean, like out of all the artists I've like met and encountered in the local community, you're definitely more the exception where you have very well thought out concepts through your album. And I think it goes over a lot of people's head unless you explain it. So like, I know I've had so many conversations with you, but like, do you in other ways other than like talking, like we have, explain your music at all? Like, hey, this is I don't know how that would even show up. Like, hey guys, this is the concept of the album.
No, I've never really, unless people ask me like this or.
Yeah.
I never had too many people ask me though. Yeah, I kind of just make the album with the concept, and then whoever kind of gets it.
Yeah.
And the people who want to ask questions, they can ask questions and I'll explain it more. I just don't want my albums to feel like it's just a bunch of random songs that have nothing to do with each other.
Yeah.
Just you put 15 songs on this album and like none of these songs flow into the next song good.
Yeah.
Or none of these songs have any kind of topic that you're talking about. They're all singles. These are all singles put on an album.
Yeah.
I don't want my albums to sound like that.
There's an artist, she's really good, and she asked me to give her feedback on her album, and I sat there and listened to it. Like I paused it, rewind it, like took notes, sent like a huge kind of write up to her. And my main piece of feedback, like opportunity wise, was like, these songs kind of seem out of order. Like it was her first album, and like this first song sounds kind of like there's a sense of urgency, and it felt like it didn't really tell the listener who you are. But this other song at the end kind of does tell the listener who you are. Like, so it seemed like it belonged in the front more. But like, what type of thought do you put into the arrangement of your songs at the beginning versus the end? How do you decide?
So I have I actually have like papers on my wall. Like I tape shit on my wall with the album, and I'll have like bullet points of the story, like chronologically. So I'll look at that and I'm like, this song fits in this section. This song fits in this. This song is the end of this story. This song is the beginning. So I look at that and then place my songs based off of looking at the story that I have written on the wall, to keep myself in memory of this is the concept of the album and this is the order that I put in the story. So these songs should fit somewhere relatively in these bullet points.
Okay.
That's how I do it. Mainly like the topic of what I'm talking about in the song determines where it's being placed. But I also try to do the production to make the production flow emotion-wise into the next song or into the next.
Yeah, I was gonna ask you about that as far as like the production instrumental, because like I'm like used to hearing like a song that's like a first couple of songs is like they're a little slower, and like I kind of imagine, I don't know how other people like perceive music, but like I kind of imagine like a storyline where it's like there's an arc, you know, and then there's like a come down or whatever, like a climax in a movie. But how do you like think about your instrumentals as far as like what should belong in the beginning, middle, and end? Or do you think about it at all, or do you only think about lyrics?
I do think about the production a lot too. I think about both actually. With the instrumentals, I do try to like bring you into like, when it gets scary, it gets scary. You know, like when, like It's a Fine Day, like that's it's pretty scary.
Yeah.
But that one's placed at the end because I wanted to, for the All I See Is Glass people, I wanted to touch on the subjects of like broken people. As a glass person, they're like fragile, and then if you fall, you can break. That's the whole idea of like that term, glass people. So I wanted to start off with the first song is All I See Is Glass People, to kind of introduce you to this idea of glass people. Then Street of Thoughts is me explaining a story of someone that I know who almost lost his life because of a woman to try to set him up. So I talk on that subject and then lead it into a love story, like a section of like, it's about me personally, how I fell in love with alcohol, but I compare it to a woman.
Oh, okay.
And then I fell in love with a woman, and I compare it to drugs, and kind of like go in that love story section. And then from there, now I'm starting to talk about drugs and like poor people and rich people, and the rich people are giving the poor people the substances to keep them stuck there. And then I just go on this topic of drugs, and I'm talking about one of my friends that I used to make music with who got caught up in drugs, and I don't talk to him anymore. Me and Troy used to be really good friends with this guy.
Is that also the one where you told me a long time ago you were kind of working with someone, they were gonna rap and you were making the beats, and then...
That was someone else.
Oh, okay.
That was someone else.
Okay.
Yeah. That was way before I even started rapping.
Oh, okay.
This person, I met him in the open mic scene. I actually, right before me and you met is when we just stopped talking to him. He moved.
It's not, so the only one I know of, like the actual name of the artist, it starts with a C. Which one is that this one or that's the other one?
It's that one. Yeah.
Okay, gotcha, okay.
Yeah, it's that one.
Yeah, because he actually did a diss song against you. Like I had to go digging for it. One day I was just like,
Yeah.
I was like doing research and I was like, I heard he did a diss song or whatever. And then I
Yeah.
realized Watch Him Drown was a diss against him.
Not
Right?
him. Yeah. And then that's when I started creating the whole album. Like it's like, all right, this is what I'm gonna do for the rest of the album now. And then from that all the way till the end, I wanted to make the end scary because I kind of wanted to take you to the mind of like a schizophrenic.
Yeah.
And then right after It's a Fine Day, it's a Growing Sins, and that song is me talking to God. So it's like all this destruction, and I just want to end it with like a note to God, like a prayer to God, or like a soliloquy kind of. It's kind of like a soliloquy song where it's like it feels like I'm just talking, about myself and like what I've been going through, and it's kind of like venting in that song a lot. And then end it with the warning from 1965, which is very accurate to what we're living in this current day. But yeah, the production wise, I wanted to emotionally bring you through my mind.
Yeah.
The whole story of it.
Yeah, no, I do. I like the samples you have, like the Warning one or the other album with like the Ronald
Reagans,
references and stuff like that, or recordings. So you're moving at the end of the month. What are you gonna? I guess a couple questions. Because my platform is about the Phoenix community. What's something that you learned as an artist, or it helped you, or you grew, or whatever? You found this part. Helped you become part of who you are today as an artist by kind of being a part of the community.
Yeah.
And then what's something you'll miss, I guess?
You.
Oh, well, thank you.
Yeah. You helped me a lot, man. You really did. You helped me a lot. You helped me stay on pace. You helped me. We've talked personally about things I was going through throughout, the past 2 years. Helped me keep pushing and motivated me to just stay here, like stay alive, basically stay alive and just keep it going and don't give up. Yeah, of course my family I'm gonna miss and all that, but as far as the music scene, the community, like that's what I'm gonna miss. Like you do a lot for us, man. Like I don't know if people tell you that too often, but you do a lot for Arizona, and
I appreciate that.
People should recognize that.
Well, for me, I have a different relationship with different artists and stuff like that. Each one is unique, but I've always seen something like, it's gonna sound corny, but special in you. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
You're I perceive your artistry in a way to me, I'm like, man, he goes over a lot of people's heads and they don't even realize it. And so I appreciate the level of detail, like your album covers, right? Your just the stories you're trying to tell throughout your music, your stage presence that we talked about. I've seen you grow so much in a short time as an artist. So to me, I'm just like a nerd about hip hop and music, and so it's been really fun to kind of watch your growth and yeah, I hope you know, like keep it up and stuff like that. And as far as like getting out to Austin, like, do you have a certain like, do you just kind of wing it, or do you have like a sort of like strategy or plan to like?
The strategy is go out there and hit up all those open mics and just fucking kill shit out there, and then whatever happens, happens. It's just another place for opportunity. And I've gone through a lot of shit out here, and I need to leave. Like,
Have you? Yeah, real quick. Have you ever lived outside of Arizona? Okay.
no, this is gonna be like, I'm moving for real, like away from my home. But I have Troy, so he's out there, so we're gonna do this shit together. I'm glad I have him. I won't feel like just fucking alone, you know. But yeah, the plan is to just do what I'm doing out here, improve, and go out there, improve, and see where it takes me. There's no roadmap to this stuff, man.
No, there really isn't.
You gotta just take risk and figure it out along the way. So this is the risk I'm taking right now, to go out there and leave, you know, here, my home.
Yeah, I think it's an interesting opportunity because, we may have texted about this, but like, and I hear famous people say this all the time, like the people in my own city, they don't mess with me, but outside of my city, whatever. But it's almost like you have the opportunity, not that like you need to recreate yourself, but like there's no frame of reference for you. You know what I mean? So it's like people will, it's almost like you know, like, oh, this person's from somewhere else, and you can kind of like create, you know, whatever you decide to create as far as like your art, you know, your artistry there.
Yeah,
so.
it's like they don't know who I am, so it's like, who's this? And I just fucking do what I do.
Yeah. One more question. What advice, like, this is kind of a cliche question, but I think it's interesting, especially for artists that are like earlier in their kind of career. If you could like go, you know, 2, 3 years, 4 years, whatever it is, arbitrary, what advice would you give yourself? Like something that you learned that you're like, if I could go talk to my former self, I would tell myself this thing.
I would tell my former self, it's just gonna be crazy. Like, you're gonna go through some stuff, man, but don't kill yourself. That's all I'm gonna say. Don't kill yourself. Just fight through it. That's what I'll tell them. That's the advice I'll say.
Okay.
Don't kill yourself, fight through it. It's real easy to lose yourself in this world.
Well, I appreciate you, you know, coming up here and having this like last interview. I'm definitely very excited for you as far as, you know, your future as an artist and going out to Austin and stuff like that. I hope you keep in touch, right? You have my number. I'm definitely gonna keep up with your music and stuff like that. And yeah, man, I wish you the best.
Thanks, man. You too.
Yeah.
You too, dude.